Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Chad, welcome to my channel. I help people become the best that they could be, whether life, relationships, goals, work, job transition, spirituality, that's what I do. So I want to welcome you today to my channel. It's gorgeous here in Colorado today. I want to talk about being humble. Be humble. As Kendrick Lamar says, right? Be humble. Being humble keeps us on that right path, the right energy level to accomplish what we need to. It takes away that ego that gets in the way a lot of times. So being humble is something that we should all strive for. In the Book of Joy, Dalai Lama talks about being in India with a few other spiritual leaders. And he says this one spiritual leader in general would sit on his chair and he'd have this kind of scowl on his face, and the Dalai Lama's looking over at him and watching all this go on, and the religious leader gets upset with his staff. He says, "Look, I'm the most pious here. I need to be sat higher than everybody else. I'm more spiritual. I'm better." So his staff goes and gets a few bricks to put under the legs of the chair. And the Dalai Lama, being the Dalai Lama, which he's always a little ornery at times is what he describes himself as. He says, the whole time I was thinking, if one of those bricks fell out from underneath the leg of that chair, he toppled over, I bet he would be a little humble in his approach. So that makes you look at everything in the world like that. I mean, we look at these businessmen who walk with their head high and don't take a look at anybody else on the road, you know. They're just there for them. If they were to trip and fall or trip and at least do that funny little fish dance that people do, you know, when they're trying to stabilize themselves, they would be a little bit more human. They would show a little more humanity and be a little bit more humble in their approach, I'm sure. There's a good joke that Archbishop Desmond Tutu talks about. He says, there's a young bishop trying to be ordained, or trying to be advanced in his practice, and he goes to his teacher and he says, "I've been to the library and I'm looking for a book on humility." And his teacher looks at him and says, "Oh yeah, I've wrote the best book." Which is funny because that's not being humble, right? The other joke that Archbishop Desmond Tutu likes to put forth is, there are 3 bishops and they're all at the altar postulating themselves before God, saying they're not worthy. They're not worthy, they're not worthy. Well, as they're doing this, a commoner comes in, common folk, and he comes up and he sits in the prayer booth and he says, "Lord, I'm not worthy." And one of the other bishops pokes his buddy with his elbow and he says, "Look who thinks they're nothing." So, being humble is a part of being a part of humanity. You know, when you think of formalities tend to separate us. They tend to isolate us, so to speak. Because that's not how people behave. Not on a normal basis. It shouldn't be anyway. So, tear down some of those formalities when you can. You know, you can still be professional and semi-formal, but show your personality. Be humble. And it'll allow you to connect with that many more people. Show some humility. It's okay to be proud of what you've done. Just don't be prideful. Don't be egotistical. Be humble. Being humble connects you to your brother and your sister, your mother and your father, and to everybody else on this planet who are brother and sisters, mothers and fathers. Just remember, we're one here. Humility helps keep us together. helps us progress as one instead of keeping us segregated into these little boxes, such as formality. So I thank you for watching. If you like this video, click that little subscribe button below, hit the thumbs up, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Smile at the world will smile back. My name is Chad.